Hello again and welcome back to Let's Play Europa Universalis as Milan. Europa Universalis 4 as well, I should add. Don't know why I excluded that this time. I guess it spices up the intro a little bit though. Some variety in life is always a plus. So when we left off, I had said that there were a couple things we were going to do. Most of those have been temporarily suspended. One was to maybe get a slightly better mercenary unit, since this is the free company that has some negative drawbacks regarding its morale recovery. However, they are simply too inexpensive right now, and the next war is not serious enough to justify rotating them out at present. The second thing was to get a flagship up. However, we currently have what looks like maybe some sort of error. Because it is telling us that we need 1,500 sailors to do this, but we only have 1,050, when up here we clearly have 1,800. Maybe it goes away after a month tick or two, we shall see. So what I want to do is kind of start getting our troops into a proper position. We're going to send these guys in here, and these guys over in here, to prepare for possible combat. And we're consolidating our navy and going to bring them back up home. The reason I am heading west is that I do believe attacking Savoy is the route to go. I am hoping that we can vassalize them. That is the big goal. However, Savoy is allied with Galera. That could be hard to reach and long to take care of. So we'll see how it's looking once we've taken care of the initial occupations. All right, we are presently short one general. I do want to get the fleet up here. Might need them, might not, but we'll need them at least for a couple ships there. So, we do want to get a new general. We are going to simply give military command to our ruler. He's well enough balanced. Siege pip, so we'll put him up here. He seems to have less shock than our normal general, so not going to be the frontline man. We are keeping them here because if we head down there, they're going to run up here. If we head up there, they're going to run down there. This way we just cut them off right here and can go in and get them wherever we feel like. I think that covers the preliminaries of preparing for this conflict. We can declare war now. Galera is coming in. Is unstoppable. None of our allies are coming in, but they are not required. We have no subjugation CB. I could wait and hope that the diet gives us one. They're pretty rare. Relatively rare. Relatively rare. I'm not going to wait, because I am more concerned that they get more allies in the time we're waiting than that. What is more likely? That they will get more allies now that they are clearly under threat and know it, or that we will get a subjugation CB, which is a incredibly minuscule percentage chance, probably a 2 or 3% chance that you pull that card out of the deck. So no, not necessary. We will simply go straight in right now. We will declare for irrelevant. They all have to be occupied. Let's march in. These guys can head on up and start that siege while they're at it. He's probably going to retreat down somewhere. Yep, he did. That's fine. We can intercept him there. Ragusa has canceled their military access. Some movement up here, I thought. We're not allied with anybody in the neighborhood. No. Should be fine. Alright. Alright, we have caught their forces out there. That looks as if it was a stack wipe. It was. We can split these guys up, get the main force up in here. We could also send one more cannon up to here, I believe. Is it going to help? I thought you had some artillery. No, you didn't. Ah, okay. I left all the artillery down with these guys. Send some artillery up there to assist. Split them as well. Whoops. Not attach, split. Them up there, them up there. One more of the artilleries. Also, it can go up here. Alright, that should take care of the issues that we have with the Savoyards. Memmingen has joined a trade league. Venice. I am very much hoping that the Ottomans decide to attack them. Not terribly likely, but it could happen. All right. Getting some occupations going now. Good. They're coming out to fight us. Gonna send these guys. Yeah, let's consolidate them all there. Oh, I'm wasting that diplomat. Me and my wanting to not waste diplomats. Let's look at what happens here. This ought to be interesting. Milanese vassal. 57 aggressive expansion. Even Austria would come in. That's a lot of people. Venice, Florence. Yeah, I don't think this is going to happen then. What's interesting is it's 57 aggressive expansion. Even if you have them release a country and then vassalize them, it's still the same amount of aggressive expansion, which is really quite a shame. So I think that's not going to be in the cards, my friend. That is far too high to tick down. Let me see. I can start trying to work on it, but I don't think so. So the top of the list mostly is not relevant. Bologna is, though Augsburg is. They are at 50 and 42 respectively. Bologna? Yeah, it's gonna be hard even to get them up to it. And what did I say? Augsburg. They should be able to get up to 42. All right, get them up, improve. All right, that takes care of the naval threat here. So let's get our galleys back away and get our naval trade fleet back out, protecting trade in Genoa. All right, we'll see if it's possible, but I don't think so. I don't think so. Switzerland declared war on Savoy's former vassal, Geneva. We are in a position to become defender of the faith, but we are definitely not in that position. Austria canceling military access, not important. Let's keep an eye on things. Yeah, we'd better raise that fort maintenance. That would be a good idea. I'm going to even raise this in case they somehow sneak some people by. Let's not be foolish. We do have, 3 there for our siege modifier. Bologna got up to 48, so not quite, but close. If we look again at what happens here, Bologna is still there at 50, but by the end of the year that will go down, so there might still be a chance. Naples and Switzerland are hopeless. Constance 42, Memmingen 42. Improve relations, so basically everybody up here has to be 42. And that was Constance, and now let's improve with Memmingen. We should push them 1 up above 42 if we can. Really, the Ottomans announced Milan as their new rival. That's one of those things that also bothers me. It's like, I think they can do a bit better than Milan as their rival. They have Poland, they have Austria, and they could be going for Castile as well, instead of choosing me. That's a slight power asymmetry there. But that's alright. I mean, maybe we'll find something we can do against them then. Alright, we won the Siege of Torino, and we apparently did the sacked the city. So we definitely need better payment routines and harder discipline. We will get some army professionalism out of that. We can next deselect this guy, get all of our artillery back down there. Consolidate those troops up as well. Maybe move them up to join our fellows in the capital. And look at marching them north. Let's have these guys attached to our main army. And see. Oh, yep, they can get up there. Geller is even coming down to join the fun. Wonder what route they're gonna take then. I mean, they should take the same route we're taking. Pathfinding and all. We'll see. Fools. We can see them because they're going through Burgundy. No, they're taking a different path. Burgundy tells us about the event Imperial Entrance, where they, among the possible options they went with, let them laugh. Burgundy shall remain Burgundy as their choice of action. Alright, they have apparently then chosen to come down here instead. We're never going to come over that way. I don't know why it's having us take that route. I was pretty sure that route would have been faster than going up that way, but decided to trust the pathfinding. Alright. Rightful ownership. Mantua has seen fit to remind us of the tent. You're kidding me. No. Ugh. That's another one of those relatively unnecessary events. Oh, this is really getting ridiculous. Alright. I'm just going to let it go that way then. I'm not going to play cat and mouse with the Gelleran forces for the next 10 minutes. There you go. Yeah, sit there, guys. That's nice. Alright, well, we can't complain. Now let's get up to their capital. We'll see if we can just siege them out right away without taking anything. Sometimes if you stack wipe them and then go occupy their capital city, then they will sometimes just surrender. That looks sufficient for what we need to do up there. The center of fashion. Amusing. The city of Milan became a center of fashion during the late Middle Ages. I did not know that. With the making of luxury goods so important that other languages used the word for the city itself to describe fine wares. In the early 16th century, over 20,000 workers were employed in the silk industry, working hard and making the court the most splendid in Italy. 50 admin power and a base tax in Milan. Alright. So, up here in Gelera, taking care of some business. Some Frisian separatists there. I'm going to move them back down somewhere a little bit more accessible. We actually don't really want to win too... Oh, and I totally have left all of my diplomats while I was getting overly worked up about the Gelleran forces. I left my diplomats improving relations unnecessarily high. Alright, so who do we got here then? Württemberg, 42. Geneva, 42. Württemberg, and where's Geneva? Oh, Geneva's not going to exist anymore in a second. So, irrelevant. Most likely, that leaves next on the list Austria at 42. Yeah, they're probably pretty important, and Strasbourg. Let's improve with Austria, then. Then after that, Strasbourg. Now we just wait for sieges to finish out. What's Brittany doing down here? Ah, yeah, they were allied with Geneva. I knew that from memory. Let's just keep this moving along. Vatican infiltration. Bribes are not an uncommon practice. With the right amount of money, we could perhaps influence a cardinal to infiltrate a religious order. Gain some papal influence or prestige. We're going for the papal influence then. Excellent. Alright, getting some progress at least, but it is rather slow. Württemberg is good enough, so I can next send him over to Strasbourg, who has quite the route to go before we can get them to a comfortable level. Austria is technically, though, at the right level. Alright, we do, in principle, have artillery we could be sending up here. You know what? I'm in no hurry. I want more aggressive expansion to burn off. So the quicker we win that siege, the quicker we just have to sit on the war goal. And that could cause some problems if we get a call for peace. Alright. I think I need a sip of tea here. Keep my energies up. Improvements in production technology. You know what? We've been taking every one of these events. We don't yet have the inflation reduction. I think this one, we're going to use a little bit of caution before we, get far too much of that. The trial again. All right. I guess that's good. Maybe. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let's do it then. Max out our Republican tradition so that guy can get reelected. All right. We won another siege. We can pull that person out of Austria. Start pulling all of them back down. Make peace with Gelera. Doesn't really matter what we do. We're also maxed out on prestige, so there's really no reason to have them do anything other than give us war reps. I don't also really want them to break the alliance with Savoy, because even if I do not manage to get all of the land from Savoy and I want more later, Gelera is a pretty weak ally. And there is only a couple countries that you have to get military access from. We could tell them to do that and that. I like to do that. It makes people like you better. Alright, that's good enough. Let's not overthink that. Alright, let's let the armies get home. And we will first then check what is happening here if we annex you. Who else is on the list? Salusa. Yeah, I forgot about them. Naples, Siena. We get Siena out of that list? We could. Alright, let's get Siena off that list. Let's give Strasbourg one more month tick, though, before we move them over. Might be tempted to actually bribe Salusa. No, it shouldn't. They should be close enough. I think so. They are at 54. And I think it was like 56 that they would take. This time I go the other route into the interface. Salusa, 56, correct. Let's improve relations with you now. Rather big, ambitious little thing we're doing here, I guess. I guess it qualifies as ambitious. Could invest in a new idea and get some innovativeness, but we are pretty close to another tech, so I say that is not something we should do. Oh, that's not good. Pope has declared war against Florence. If they take Firenze as well, I'll be a little bit irritated. Little bit. Halfway tempted to move my forces down here. I mean, I'd live with it. I'll get it back from them. It's just, I'd have to do it later, which would be, like, bothersome. And we can't even really release Florence, because we'd lose way too much land for that. Not sure what to do. Well, let's get our troops down there first, and then we worry about what to do. How come you guys did not continue your journey? Not sure. Alright. How are we doing on time? Oh, still plenty of time. I should take it a little bit slower and easier than I feel like I'm almost like stressed trying to do this. Let's leave the person in Salusa for just another month tick. The Pope is marching right into the capital. Okay, they are going to take them both. I know it already. And then I'm going to have a big Pope problem on my hands. But, you know, it's okay for now. As far as I'm concerned, I can consolidate everything out here first and come back for the center of Italy later. That's fine. A nice strong Pope helps us as well. I mean, they're the ones, you know, who've been a reliable ally that we could depend upon. So let's take another look here. They would accept. They're going to be impossible to control vassal for a while. We don't actually want to have them release Montferrand then, so... because we take the same aggressive expansion either way, so what does it matter? Who else have we got here then, who's not happy with us? Florence, of course, who might disappear. Venice, Naples we have a treaty with. Switzerland we can't really do much about. Though we could. They are still our rival, aren't they? Which is surprising that they are still actually allowed to be our rival. I think we would have surpassed them by now. We can't do anything about that, though, because we can't get them on a truce timer. As long as they are in the HRE, where they're allies. Let me go this way, it's easier to see. Croatia, but we can't attack them either, and the rest are all HRE members. So Croatia doesn't look like they're doing particularly well. They're involved in this whole Hungary war, and Sicily is, of course, allied with somebody way too big. Bohemia, yes. And with Salusa, I've never played Salusa, but they got a lot of attention due to their nice ideas in the Emperor patch. So maybe something you want to check out if you feel like a OPM in the region. All right, let's stop and think then for a moment. Obviously, this A is far too high, so there's nothing we can really do to take this province off of Florence before the Pope gets it. We do have a quite longer truce with Naples, I would guess, yes. Till 07. The only possibility I'm hoping for is that maybe the Pope, he's going to probably call us in though when we end this war, that he actually loses against these fellas and that we then can actually come in and rescue him later. Maybe he even loses provinces. I don't see that as likely though. Defender against the Pope, just the Pope. Yeah, that's pretty bold of the Pope to go to war against both these countries. Surprisingly, Naples actually disbanded a big hunk of their army, though. So, and the Pope doesn't have a very big army either, though. I mean, I guess we should just let it play out. Who knows? Maybe the Pope calls us in, and then gives us land or something. Let's move our troops down there, just in anticipation, perhaps, of that eventuality. It would maybe actually not be the best thing in the world, but as long as he did it down here, we'd probably survive. All right, let's get moving then. We wanted to check this again, yes, and see. Only Switzerland could maybe be turned, but no, they were a rival. And Geneva, but that is irrelevant. Florence, Naples, and Venice, all irrelevant. All right, well, it's a little bit of a coalition that could pop up, but I think it's manageable. We should make peace, but we will wait just a little while until our forces down here get into a better position for a possible conflict here. We will be leaving the diplomat handy at the moment. We have lost the casus bellis against Croatia and gotten it against Sicily. Huh. I mean, could attack them? No, they're a member of the HRE. HRE is getting bigger. At least I believe. Yes, exactly. All right, well, that's not an option then. I know I'm leaving my diplomat a little bit open. Whoa, let's wait. The Pope just pulled right out and marched to the south instead. With a much bigger force. Well, he quickly built up his army, didn't he? Means we could actually look at taking Firenze, to be honest. Let's make peace first with the current target, and then we will think about that. All right, let's sign that peace deal then. We are looking at Savoy becoming a vassal. Our other option is to just take this. That would be almost the same amount of aggressive expansion, though, and wouldn't give us any ability to retake cores. And that is why we want this. So, back to the main screen, Milanese vassal. And we'll get as much cash as we can. Not a whole lot. Maybe we can get a tiny more out of you. Yep, a tiny bit more. That'll be useful. Maybe they have to go into debt for that, and we can pay off their debts and make them a little bit happier a little bit sooner. Cross our fingers this does not come back to bite us. Unloyal vassal, and we are over on relations as well. Oh. Get that diplomat home. And look at their liberty desire, quite large. We are going to be annexing then Corsica, probably. But we will first take a look at summoning the Diet, see if we get something of interest here. The clergy wants base tax. The nobility want us to invade Switzerland. And the burghers want us to improve Milan even more, which will be quite expensive. So I guess we're going to have to go for the clergy. It only gets us prestige, which we don't need right now, so we'll have to just keep this mission in mind for when we actually need prestige. It's the only viable option there, though. All right, next on the list. We have to annex one of our vassals. I'm heavily in favor of that just being Corsica. Would also be the quickest and the easiest. So let's annex them now. That's going to hit our dip rep. It's going to hurt even more. They're not a member of the HRE, are they? I don't know. They are, sort of. That means we might get also this negative modifier annexed member of HRE with all of these guys. Well, we're just going to have to deal with that then, because I'm not going to try to improve relations with Mantua and get them in a position to be annexed. Yeah, they'll get over it. They'll get over it. If not, then the game ends a little bit sooner than we expected. All right. Who else have we got? What else have we got happening down here? I do not think then we are actually in a position to invade Florence. Bologna is at war with them now too, because they're allied with the Papal State. Seem to have come in rather late though. Even Austria is at war with them. Wow, they called in Austria as well. You know, I hate to like wrap up the episode before we really hit our 30 minutes, but I think this is something that we have to kind of think about. Even the annexation of our vassal should probably be thought about then, because of what I said, that is a member of the HRE. That will give us a negative 25 malice with a bunch of these people up here, driving them into coalition territory. When Austria is attacking these guys as well, I don't think that changes the overall diplomatic situation. Let's pull them out of Siena. Austria would, of course, come there. I don't think it actually changes the situation at all. Just scared me. We still have a truce with them, of course. If we vassalized Florence, then that would draw us in against all of these persons here, so that's definitely not an option. We unfortunately don't have a border, so we can't cut off the Pope from taking Florence. Florence is just going to be way too expensive, though. But if there was some way I could at least prevent the Pope from taking it, even if I occupied it and I sat on it until the Pope had to make peace so that he couldn't get it and we could sync up our truce timers a little bit, that might be an acceptable compromise. I think it probably is. We just wasted a few diplo points there annexing Corsica, though, because that's gonna have to be stopped then. I think I'll probably just wrap it up then, and this will be our question. How much do we want to push it now? Is it worth it trying to go and seize some more from Florence here at this time when we're in such a vulnerable position with aggressive expansion? Or do we just let the Pope do his thing, and we, meanwhile, focus on getting our AE lower, going down and taking the rest of the Nepalese territory instead when that truce ends in 6 years or so and our AE is a bit lower? In the meantime, we really want an adventurous war, we can go to war against England here. France still not willing to come in because it would destabilize them. They must have like mill access or something. Interesting. I wish they would get rid of that. That would get them very close to actually being willing to help. They're not willing to help here either, are they? And that's simply because of the debt, though. Right. We've got some thoughts to think, do we not? I think, though, I'm not going to do it, unless you guys really encourage me to. Alright, I'll let you all go then. Thank you for joining us. Sorry, I thought I saw something out of the corner of my eye, but there's nothing over there. Trust me. I guess I will thank you for joining me for this episode. And we can wrap up. I just feel like I'm cutting you a little bit short today. I do apologize for that, though. That's fine. Not all of them need to be 30 minutes. I probably already drug out the thought process too much for you. Hope that didn't bore you too much, but big decisions, and we've got to manage this carefully because I'd hate for this to end prematurely. I think we've got a good opportunity for a good run here now with some of our new acquisitions. Thank you and take care. I will see you again next time. Like, subscribe, comment, and do join me again for the next episode when we shall hopefully head either further west or further south. All my best and ciao.